In this tutorial, I'm going to show you a very quick and easy way to make a really pretty unicorn horn for any unicorn cake project you might have. To make the unicorn's horn, I am using straight modeling chocolate. I'm kneading it really well, and then I am rolling it in between my hands. You can also use a fondant smoother. I'm going to show you that in a minute. That's going to help us. But the idea here is to get a long piece that is tapered, so it comes to a point and gets a little bit thicker as you go on from that point. And we're going to roll out two of these exact same pieces and we're going to twist them together. Okay, so here's me using the fondant smoother, just showing you how I use that tool to help me, just rolling back and forth over top of the piece of modeling chocolate really gives me that nice perfect roll. And you can see how both pieces that I've rolled out are tapered so that they're thicker at one end and then they come to the point the other end. Okay, so I've got them side by side and I'm using a little bit of water with a paintbrush in between the pieces. This is just going to help the pieces stick together as I kind of twist, and then I'll be rolling them again afterwards. And if you don't use the water, they tend to kind of want to come apart on you as you're going. Okay, so you can see I just grabbed the thick end there and I just started twisting the pieces. I've sped this up a little bit. Go a little bit slow when you're doing this, because the faster you go, the more imperfect your twisting is going to be here. You want to try to keep it as even twisted as possible as you go along. Okay, now don't worry if it's not perfect, because you can get it pretty darn near perfect by using the fondant smoother on this afterwards. Now if you like this look of having these very defined twists and you're not worried about them being a little bit wonky, then you can just leave it as is, or you can use the fondant smoother like I'm using. Just roll it over top just a little bit. You still have definition in the twist, but it gives you that perfect tapered horn look, because we all know that horns can go very, very wrong and we don't want our horn to go very, very wrong. So then I just cut it down to the size it needs to be for this particular project. And modeling chocolate is great because it's not going to get all floppy on me, but I'm also using a floral wire here, and I am inserting it into the thick end and I am twisting as I insert it while holding the horn with my other hand. Now this will push it out of shape a little bit, but then we can use the fondant smoother on it again afterwards, like so, just a little bit, because we still want the definition of those twists. And that is a super easy way to get a pretty darn near perfect unicorn horn. Now I colored it and my video cut out when I was coloring. I don't know what happened there, but I'm going to show you how I colored it. And then how I cut the bottom at an angle before I'm going to put it on my unicorn so that it sits nicely on her head when I insert it. But basically, I created a paint out of Roxy and Rich Edible Hybrid Luster Dust in Old Gold. I love that it's edible and it's a really great luster dust. And I just added some Everclear to it. You could use clear vodka and create a paint consistency with it. So I painted that onto the horn, and while it was still wet, I then sprinkled some gold jewel dust over top, which is edible glitter, basically, which there, not too much glitter out there is actually edible. Most of it's non-toxic, but the jewel dust is actually edible, and that gave me the sparkle by sprinkling it on top of the wet paint. Here is the Roxy and Rich Old Gold Edible Hybrid Luster Dust that I mixed with some Everclear to create my paint, and painted it on. And then, like I said, while it was still wet, I used my jewel dust, my gold jewel dust. It's this beautiful stuff. Such a great edible glitter. I love it. Sprinkled that over top of the horn. and it gave me this beautiful, sparkly, unicorny horn. And then again, I showed you how I cut at an angle the bottom of the horn. Here's me being a dork showing you with my fingers how I cut it. Okay, yeah, McGreevy, whatever. And then inserted that wire into the horn's head. You can put some safety seal on that wire first to make it food safe. Or you can coat it in melted candy melts, but you just want to make it food safe before you insert it into your project. Another thing I just wanted to mention here is I used this Sprinkle Pop unicorn mix to just kind of bling up my board a little bit. Look at these little wafer paper unicorns. I love Sprinkle Pop's mixes because she often adds just these beautiful little details into the mixes. They're so cool. They're one of a kind, and I just really, really love them. So I just wanted to show you a little bit of this unicorn mixture, and it really made my board what I wanted it to be. It was fun to just add it around the edges. It really just added a little extra something to my board. SprinklePopShop.com online. And there's the finished board. And here is the finished unicorn cake with its sparkles and hair and all that fun stuff. If you're looking for the full unicorn cake tutorial, you can find it on cakeheads.com. Come join our Cakeheads family over there. We have a lot of fun together. We work out all of our issues with our cake projects. There's tons of tutorials to watch, and we just, troubleshoot everything, having a lot of fun together. So you can find this tutorial and a whole lot of other tutorials over there. We'd love to have you with us. Thanks for watching.